Hey guys, welcome back. Here is my brief episode 5 and episode 6 little kind of combined review of Skeleton Crew for the past couple of weeks. So I just got finished watching episode 6, so our initial reaction and review should be out on our Instagram before you'll be watching this video. So episode 5 for me, I thought was quite strong. I can't quite remember exactly what I gave it, but I think it was around an 8 out of 10. I quite liked how it progressed into a bit more of a pirate-esque kind of booby trap episode, and having kind of the threat of the pirates be on them towards the later half of the episode with Captain Brutus and his gang. However, I do find it a coincidence how it's always kind of like a coincidence that it doesn't like ever actually get to Aden like yet. Like it's all like I don't know. It does remind me of the Goonies in the such of like it's kind of a journey that kind of comes back full circle. However, it's taking a long time, and for pacing issues for a show, it is, I think, quite weaker than it could be as a movie. I do find myself getting lured back into the interest, especially with episode 5, with obviously the last kind of parts of the episode when Jod kind of challenges Fern for captaincy and also does nasty and uh, turns on the acidic traps with some of the old pirate gang Brutus, and it was kind of merciless, and I kind of liked it. It was kind of a bit more of a darker part of the episode. And I did like the ending. Not sure what he's going to do with that lightsaber, especially now I'm going to go into episode 6. I really got left on a cliffhanger with that episode and got really excited for this week's episode, which now brings me into episode 6, which I just watched maybe like an hour ago, so quite fresh off my head. I gave this episode a 7 out of 10 on the Insta review. I am considering going to like a 6.5. The issue that I have with this episode is that I hate to say that it's like filler, but I think it is. Because of basically only being character development for the kid actors, especially with KB, Fern, and Wim. Not really Neil in this one. Um, I guess he had that with can't remember episode 4. I think he had that with when they were on the wrong at not planet. Uh but with this one, I thought the visuals were quite nice. I like the crab kind of aesthetic and the trash kind of uh trash compact. Not really trash compactor. It's like a trash machine robot thing that took off the hull of the ship after they hit the button that SM-33 told them not to do. So that was quite a cool reveal of there being another ship kind of within it, kind of like a hatching, I guess you could say. And that's kind of shedding the skin of kind of the crew themselves and kind of becoming a closer, tight-knit friends and bonds, which we kind of got in this episode. I did really enjoy the scenes with the actual pirate gang and having Jod kind of defend himself without getting thrown into the airlock from Brutus, with having kind of that kind of captain like speech. And I did like kind of the song chanty thing that they have. And I do have a theory actually. I have a theory going back from episode 5 on who Captain Renard could be, or well, we know who he is. More about why it's so kind of hidden and mysterious. I reckon he is the person in charge of Atnan since he found the place. I think he's running it from the inside. So he's got eternal treasure and also like a dodgy kind of pirate, old Republic miner person now. So I think that's going to be revealed at probably towards the later half. I reckon it's going to have Jod show up and be like, "Oh, Captain Renard, I didn't know you'd become like some sort of old Republic credit creator, or I don't know, something like that, some weird thing like that." Because especially with the Goonies vibe, it's going to be something within the actual planet itself, which is going to be the main reveal or some sort of twist thing where it's like, oh, the adventure was always on the planet initially. It wasn't really about what they have done now. It's about where they are and where they live and everything. So I don't know. This episode was really slow. There wasn't really much excitement, in my opinion. It was more just kind of watching it and just progressing to the main part of the story, which of course is at the end. But I do think that it's just one of those. This is a show, an episode alone is switch off your brain and watch it for fun. It There's nothing really deep to it, and there was no kind of follow up with the lightsaber reveal or anything yet, or even with Jod, or even with the planet and still, and all the kind of we all know that it's a place that obviously creates these currencies and stuff, but there hasn't been sort of that grabbing, enticing thing yet. I don't know if they're going to do some massive reveal at the end, especially with the lightsaber now being at the helm of Jod, or who Jod is, if he's a some sort of person from the Old Republic, like a temple guard, not really temple guard, but some sort of thing like that. I've heard so many theories going around about who he is, or not, if he is a Jedi, Sith, or even someone said, I read a comment actually that someone said he was a part of the Emperor's guards because they were force sensitive, and he obviously the Emperor's gone now, and he just kind of disbanded and went into a life of piracy. Could be interesting. Don't think it's true. However, I just thought I'd mention it on here. But overall, yeah, this episode probably a 6.5 now. I'd probably go for it. However, these two episodes combined are quite enjoyable. I do think it would work better as a movie. We'll wait and see how kind of these next wrapping up episodes on next. I think it's the next four, 7, 8. I think there's only two more left or something. But Bryce Dallas Howard also directed this most recent one of 6, so that's quite interesting. I thought it looked quite nice. So I guess kudos to Bryce Dallas Howard as always doing TV shows for Star Wars. But overall, those are just my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy these last episodes and also our review of this. Let us know down below, obviously, your thoughts on the episodes yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.
Alrighty, hello everyone. Nice to see you guys again. Skeleton Crew, episodes 5 and 6. Now, when we left off last time, I was quite severely upset with how that happened, how we got to the halfway point of the show and we ended like that. I was so skeptical of going into the next episode with a Neil origin story. We didn't. Thank God. Episode 5 was actually pretty good, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But I feel like the 5 and 6 was a 3 and 4 just a little bit better. Because episode 3 was great, and episode 5 was great. Episode 4 was awful. Episode 6, bordering on awful. This show, I swear, it does my head in because the quality of the show can be so good at times and it can be so dog water at times as well. And it's really frustrating as a viewer because when I see stuff I like in the episode, that gets me excited for next week. But then in turn, the following week doesn't fulfill that excitement. It just waters it down. It starts focusing on other stuff. Episode 5 was great. Episode 5 was really, really good. It felt like an Indiana Jones inspired episode. Jude Law, I'll say it again, he's a great actor. He has just some thing about him, some effect. The Jude Law effect, I'm calling it. Every time he's on screen, the show just gets better. His acting is superb in this show. The whole storyline of episode 5 was great, leading up until the coup by Jod, and then the little tease of the lightsaber at the end. Amazing. That's how you finish an episode. So yeah, episode 5 was really good. I gave it like an 8.5, I think. I was hooked. I was on board. I was ready to go. And then this week, episode 6. 2 episodes left, and what do we get? A filler episode. With 2 episodes left in the show, and we're doing filler. So, what was interesting that happened in this one? Well, the pirates finally caught up to everyone. What happened? Mr. Jod, the Jedi guy, he talks his way out of it because secretly he's got support from in the group and they're gonna stage a coup or something along the lines. We haven't seen that before. Still no Hondo, by the way. We should have introduced Hondo already, but we haven't. We've got, oh no, the friends are disagreeing because they're not be friends anymore. They're disagreeing about what to do. Are they going to follow the bugs? Are they going to climb the cliff? Which way is quickest to the ship? Oh no. Seriously? Seriously. That is what we're focusing on the penultimate episode of the show. The stuff with KB and Wim was good. That was a nice little discourse. That was a nice discourse back and forth between those two. Neil and Fern, I didn't care for at all. I think Fern is growing on my nerves. I think the acting's okay, but I don't like the character. The character is just so like stoic to the point where it's annoying. Wim is just downright annoying. Neil, you can't be mad at Neil. Neil's fine. KB is probably the best and most interesting of the bunch. I think this episode really demonstrated the actress's versatility, and I certainly appreciated how she presented herself in this episode and the character. It was great. But my main issue with the episode is that was the best part. None of the pirate stuff, none of the Jod stuff, not even the bit, not the X-Wing stuff, not even the bit where the ship literally cocoons out of itself and becomes a new ship and flies away. That was cool, but why? Why? What did that do? Why not just have that I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand this show. And I think, here's a comparison, right? Those who checked out our channel or followed us through The Acolyte, I loved the idea of The Acolyte, and I was so excited for it because of what it could have been. And each week I was holding out hope because I was hoping that next week would be the one. Next week would be the episode that would just really grab me. And episode 5 did, but the rest of the show really felt flat. And I was trying to stay optimistic. But I still had that excitement going in each week. Skeleton Crew, I can see the effort and I can see the quality, but I'm just let down I've been let down so many times now, it's ridiculous. And I don't know how many more chances I can give this show before I give up on it. In all honesty, I know there's people in the community that love it. I know Jack really likes the show, and that's great. Good to get him a show that has released in the last 2 years that he actually enjoys. Because I know he was pretty deprived through The Acolyte. I understand that. But as someone who had no interest in the premise of the show, as someone who really just didn't see the use in the show, didn't see the necessity of it, I've not really found it very fulfilling. And I feel like I've proven myself right in not wanting to watch the show. Again, I've found some enjoyment in it, like episode 5. Last week's episode was great. But this week's episode just, it does this. It goes up and then down, and then up and then down. And maybe that makes me a little bit excited for what next week could offer. But I also know that we've still got to go back to the annoying parents, back on at Atten. And my biggest gripe thing that I didn't even mention, and the thing that I was mentioning last week, our main mystery of what Atten is, we are still no closer to answering that question than we were 2 weeks ago. We're going into episode 7, and we have not had an update on our main mystery for 3 episodes. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm talking myself out of this show more and more. Look, it's got some interesting bits. Episode 5 was probably my favorite of the season. It hit every note correctly. Episode 6 dragged it right back down. Here's to hoping episode 7's good and the finale is good. We will watch it. I will watch it. But I'm slowly losing it, guys. All right. Catch you guys later.